What's up, Flag fam? Welcome back to another episode of Talking Flag, the podcast where we talk everything flag football from the field to the sidelines.
We're your hosts, Tika and Ambra, and today's guest is quite an icon in the flag world. She's been a player, a coach, and an official for over 25 years. Basically, a triple threat.
She is also the head women's flag football coach at senior associate athletic director at La Sierra University in California. And fun fact, she's got an identical twin sister too, so double the trouble.
Everyone, please welcome Brianne Talboom.
Brianne, welcome to Talking Flag. We have to start with the basics here. So 25 plus years in the game. Take us back. Like, how did flag football first come into your life?
Yeah, absolutely. But first, thank you so much for having me. And what a nice introduction. You guys are really doing a great service for flag football. So we all appreciate you and wanted to give you a quick kudos as well. So thank you again.
Thank you.
So, yes, 25 years. It doesn't seem like that. It's flown by, but I am so glad that flag football is finally getting its day in the sun. Although, like you, we've known that this has been going on for some time. And so 25 years ago, my high school actually offered flag football, surprisingly. They decided that tackle wasn't really within their philosophy. So they told the boys, hey, if you want to play, you can do flag. And then the ladies said, well, if it's flag, how about we get to play too? So it actually started many years before I even got there. So I was exposed to it early in middle school and started playing very young. And we were in a very competitive league and got to play. So I was a 3-sport athlete. After flag football, I went into soccer. And then after soccer, I went into softball. And softball is actually where I went to play my college being a student athlete, because we didn't have an opportunity like these young athletes do now to play collegiate flag football.
Wow, what a journey. And okay, so that's how you started playing and stuff. So you're a coach as well, and an administrator, and you've officiated. So how has that come about then after you, like, was it whilst you were playing? Was it afterwards or?
Yeah, a lot of it actually was afterwards. Reason being is once I was around athletics and getting to play at that level, not only in middle school, high school, and then finally at the collegiate level, I knew that I didn't want to give up the game. And I really wanted to be a mentor to these young athletes coming in. And I thought to myself, how can I do this? How can I still be a part of helping athletes excel? And so the first thing that popped in my mind was a physical education teacher. So that's what I got my undergrad in. And that's really what started opening all the doors for me. So I've been able to coach a lot of different sports, which has been wonderful because they're all different, but they all bring something unique and very transferable, in my opinion, over to flag football. So I think I try to tell other athletes now who maybe haven't tried flag football, just give it a try. You'll be surprised. All of these skills that you've picked up thus far are really going to help you on the flag football field as well. So after I got my college degree in physical education, I started teaching, and then that kind of opened the doors to coaching, and then from coaching into athletic administration. So I started at the high school level, really enjoyed that group of that age group of athletes. I coached both boys and girls, so I had experience with both. And then the college, administrators came knocking and said, hey, would you be interested in coaching collegiate basketball? And I thought, okay, well, that would get my foot in the door. So I actually started as a collegiate basketball coach, did that for about 3 years, and then jumped into full-time administration, which was a different side of athletics, really a support side, which I learned a lot from. So the business side, I got experience with the support and the retention of student athletes, helping them, excel and exceed off the field as well by the support that we gave them on the field. And that was a real eye-opener. So I was able to work both in NAIA institutions and NCAA institutions. So I have an understanding of both, which I think really bodes well. And I would like to say, I'm sure we can share my contact information here, but I'm happy to help any young athletes coming in who have questions about compliance, their eligibility. I just want to help further the game and help understand some of those rules.
That's just amazing. Like, so you've been wearing like different hats, haven't you? Coach, administrator, as an official. So, I mean, you've already answered some of the question, but how has wearing all those hats shaped your understanding of the sport, like of flag football as a sport?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great question. And what I tell a lot of my student athletes is say yes as much as possible, obviously still keeping boundaries so you don't run yourself dry, right? But say yes to these opportunities because you never know where they're going to lead and or what your experience you're going to gain. And I'll tell you, some of the positions I've been in have not been my favorite, but you wouldn't know that because I'm still going to work 100%. But what I know in the back of my head is that I'm still learning from this, right? And that has helped me get to where I am now and have a very broad understanding of athletics, athletics administration, coaching, teaching, which I really pride myself on. I'm a teacher first, but I'm called coach, which is nice. And that has afforded me the opportunity to have that unique lens of a student athlete, myself, of a coach, of an administrator, of a teacher, because I've also taught in the classroom as well. And then, of course, as an official. And I'm trying to give our officials more love. We know a lot of them are just learning the game and we need them. So we need our parents and young athletes to understand that they're just learning too and give them a little leeway and really support what they're doing because that's not an easy job. And if you haven't done it, I'd really encourage you to try it and see what it's like.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really important thing that you're saying, because they can get quite a bit of abuse sometimes, don't they? And that's obviously, it's not nice, it's not what you want. But I don't think until you've actually worn that official's gear that you actually understand what it is, how it feels like. So I think that's a really good tip for anyone, even players, just to get that point of view, like the other side of it. I think that's really important. Yeah. Are
Yeah,
you going to say?
absolutely. And,
Yeah.
I was a feisty player, I'll admit, and would come down on officials, which I don't think, I think I've matured and hopefully done better in that realm. But putting that officiating jersey on really helped open my eyes to what they experience and what that's like. So I encourage even our student athletes, you can start officiating clubs, youth leagues. You don't have to start at a super high level to start getting that experience and see what that's like, the other side of the coin, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
it's so necessary. I see it here. Like, I also do some work for the Dutch Federation of Football, and we have such a lack of referees. Like, nobody wants to do it. While I think it's actually really cool if you can do it, so you get a better understanding of the game and the rules. Like, it will help you as a player too, or maybe even as a coach. I mean, you don't know. So it's really nice that you have all these different point of views, and it makes you very unique and very well equipped for any situation. So that's really, really amazing. So let's talk about La Sierra's women's flag football program. So you've built it from the ground up. So what were the biggest challenges and also your proudest moments?
Absolutely. So the 25-26 is going to be our inaugural season. And so, like I've said, even though it's the first year for our institution, luckily I've been doing this for some time. And my associate head coach, Nikki Verdugo, actually was part of the inaugural, or at least the beginning years of women's tackle. So she played a pivotal role there, also very well versed in flag football. So we have a staff that's really ready to go and understands the game because we've actually played it, which I think is very helpful and will hopefully bode us well as we go through this journey. So as you know, first getting this program sanctioned, and I really applaud CIF, which is the Federation for High Schools here in Southern California, who really recognized the excitement around flag football and sanctioned it as a varsity sport, which then I think more athletes are taking seriously now and understand, hey, this is a sanctioned sport, meaning we could potentially play at the collegiate level. So that helped very much. From there, the NAIA, which is the conference that we participate in, they actually sanctioned it as well. And I believe it's been going 5 years now. And so they're really ahead of the curve as well. Next, I believe the NCAA will pick it up, is my hope. It may be a few years yet, but I do know that they've recognized the excitement around it and just how popular the sport is going to be. So I have no doubt that that's going to come along pretty quick as well. So we've already got across that hurdle, getting it sanctioned so we can actually give athletic aid, right? And at our institution, we're lucky enough to give academic aid as well. We actually stack because we see the importance of student athletes being able to reap the rewards of working hard in the classroom. So they should get that academic aid, and working hard on the field, they should get that athletic aid as well. So our institution, I really applaud them for allowing us as an athletic department to give that aid to these students to help them come and really better their education. And La Sierra is a wonderful institution. We've been here since 1922. We have 80 undergrad programs, so we definitely have something for most. It's a legit university and a great place to be, very welcoming. We're in the city of Riverside, which is Southern California, about 40 minutes from the beach, 40 minutes to snowboarding. So it's a great place to be. We would love both of you to come out and hang out with us if you're ever in the area. But those were some of our first, how do we even get this off the ground? How do we get our administration to jump in and say, hey, this is worthwhile? And really, it wasn't a tough fight, which again is why I give kudos to our university. They were ready to give our female athletes another opportunity. So that's where we are with that. Now, the next piece is we're building a brand new team, which means I'm looking for 24 student athletes, right off the bat. So it's not like a typical coach who may be replacing, and I don't like the word replacing because it's tough to replace any person, but finding new talent to come in after someone graduates. Maybe it's 3, 4, 5, somewhere there, but 24, it's challenging but exciting. And so far we have 19 committed. We're talking to about 5 more. Well, talking to quite a few more, but hoping to get about 5 more to hit that 24 mark is what we're looking for our set program. And it's actually been pretty exciting. And so many student athletes out there are just ready for this opportunity, which has been great. So that's the next piece, is just making sure we have the personnel who are ready to actually play at the collegiate level, and not just play at the collegiate level, but also do well in the classroom at the collegiate level. Because if they can't do well in the classroom, they're not going to be able to play anyway because they won't be eligible. So it's a unique fit that we're looking for, as well as, what we call champions of character. We also want that right fit for our culture. So like you had mentioned the triple threat before, when I recruit, we talk about the golden eagle mindset, and that's a championship mindset of being a champion in the classroom, champion on the field, and then of course a champion of character. So it's finding those right people, and we've been blessed to do that so far. So we're going to continue that. Next was getting our conference. So we are lucky enough to actually have a conference of other institutions that are going to be playing flag football. So we have 10 teams in our conference. We have 6 that are committed to flag football. The others, I think, will be coming pretty quickly within the next year. But then we have a number of non-conference schools who have been reaching out who would like to play. So we have a number of community colleges in the area who are starting flag football. We have obviously the Midwest, the East Coast, who have already been playing for a number of years, who we're taking cues from and hoping to play as well. We have Nevada jumping in. So we have a lot of opportunity to play and just continue to further this game. So we're on our way.
Oh my God, it just sounds like you all know exactly what you're doing. It sounds so structured. It sounds so organized. Actually, I think a question from us then is then for coaches or schools thinking about starting a flag program, what advice would you give them based on what you've learned from this whole experience?
Absolutely. And the first thing I think is just saying, yes, take a chance on it. I believe it will work. Absolutely. And then there's coaches like myself, programs like myself, who are more than happy to help. So if you need a blueprint, if you have questions, please don't feel like you're alone. We're not gatekeeping. We want this program to grow. So if you come to us, we're more than happy to help. We want to make sure that we also have more teams to play. So we want to continue to grow the sport. And just like anything else, it's a partnership. We're here to help. We will help explain that. But I think the first piece is just taking the chance and saying, yes, this is going to be beneficial to our institution, to female athletes in the area. And I guarantee wherever you are, there's probably a high school program, a club program, USA football's getting involved. So we have the Olympics coming up, as you're both very aware, in 2028. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities to get involved in flag football. You're not going to have a hard time finding the student athletes, and it's definitely going to be worth it to put your time and effort into the sport. It's just going to continue to grow.
Yeah, and I think it's really the right timing to do it. Like it looks like colleges like yours, like they've already like made the blueprint, so it's not even that difficult for schools that want to come in now to follow that. Like the work has been done by colleges like yours, so that's really amazing, and I really agree with you. We have to continue working together, because at the end of the day, like we're still a small sports, and we need each other to make it grow. So that is amazing. um, yeah, you've had such a broad view of the game. So where do you think the biggest growth is happening right now in women's flag, like in general?
That's a great question. And it's really growing at all different levels so fast. It's hard to really measure it and say, hey, which actual piece is booming. I think that at the youth levels, it's really taken charge. And it's just booming, which I think now is creating more student athletes to start playing in the high school level, which is now growing very quickly, which is now giving us at the collegiate level more talent to choose from. I talked to so many club coaches. I talked to so many high school coaches, and I'm talking about 25s. We're still recruiting, trying to finish up, and all of them are saying, we have a strong 25, but our 26, 27, 28 are just outstanding. I mean, they're talking about, because these are the athletes who have been playing even longer because they had the opportunity to start when they're 7 or whatever it may be and moving up, right? And so I think we're going to see continued talent coming through. And like I said, USA football is getting involved and putting some resources behind it. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention our NFL teams too. We as an institution were able to get an NFL grant to help us with getting this off the ground and starting with some of those, overhead costs that you have starting a program, right? But that's another good thing about flag football. It's not what I would consider an extremely expensive sport. It's
Mhm.
not that much to actually get it going. And, as far as the equipment and uniforms and things like that, it doesn't require a lot. So really, even if you have a small program and not a lot of funds, it's a program that you can support, and it will be sustainable.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you've mentioned this before. Obviously, we all know flag is heading to the Olympics in 2028. We would like to know, what does that mean to you personally, and what do you think it will do for the sport?
It really gives me chills just thinking about it. Another opportunity for women to be able to show their athletic ability and what they can do on the field. It's such a fun, fast-paced, technical game. It's a game where you can actually see the ball. No offense to golf and other sports, but people can really understand this. They can see it, they can get behind it. And like I said, we have support from the NFL and just other programs who are championing it and really want to see it do well. And I thank the Olympic Committee for, again, kind of being on the cusp of this happening and getting this out in the forefront. And I think it's going to explode even more for those who are kind of on the sidelines, not sure what it entails. What does it look like? How is it played? They're going to get to see it on national TV played by top athletes. And I think they're going to be blown away, to be completely honest.
Mhm.
And I have seen more young men kind of getting into it as well, which is to me kind of surprising because they have that opportunity to go tackle, but some of them are changing their mind, and I see pivoting over to flag because they see the joy in it as well. And like I said, if you've played other sports, they're very transferable and it's
Mhm.
very exciting. So I think we even have more to come. I wish that we had this opportunity, but I'm so thankful and grateful that it came around. And I'm so happy for the young athletes now who will have this opportunity. And hey, we have some awesome athletes who are ready to represent the flag, and it's going to be very exciting.
Ah,
Yeah.
amazing. And yeah, I think we share that feeling. Like obviously we would have loved to have all those opportunities, but I'm also super grateful that we were the ones actually helping to get to this point. So I am just extremely grateful that it got here. So super excited for the athletes to come and to represent their country. So I cannot wait to see. So yeah, you've coached young athletes through their key stages actually of their development. So, what are some of the values you hope to instill beyond the X and O's?
That's a really good question and a very, very important question. And I mentioned before that I really pride myself on being a teacher,
Mhm.
but also on being a mentor. I think that there's more to life than just sport. However, I think sport really brings life into focus with all of the different pieces that you can learn from sport that, again, are going to be transferable into whatever you choose to do thereafter. Learning how to work as part of a team, right? When you're in an office setting, you're going to be working with all different types of individuals with different personalities, but guess what? You're still all working towards the same goal.
Mhm.
Same thing in a team. You have to learn how to work together. And most of my student athletes are already overachievers. They are ready to go. They understand what it takes to get where they want to be. They're very goal oriented, which is huge. They are self motivators. They do not need somebody else to start their engine. They start it every morning, and that is hard to stop, right? When you don't need a carrot dangled in front of you, you do it for you. That is something very unique and very exciting. So that is something that a lot of our athletes, we try to instill in them as well. But then also the biggest one is being a good person, a good human being, a good citizen. Wherever you go, we want people to say, where did you come from? Tell me about your family. Tell me about the university you went to. I want our student athletes, when they leave our program, to be the best advertisers we've ever had for La Sierra University and our flag football program, just by the way they hold themselves, right? And for someone to actually just look and say, man, you have a wonderful work ethic. Where did you get that from? And let them explain where that came from. And a lot of it, obviously, and I do not take credit for all of this, are the parents as well. And when we recruit, we're not just recruiting the student athlete, we're recruiting the family as well, so that we all can be successful together, because we need them to help us continue supporting, their child and making sure that they are successful off the field as well. So
Mhm.
again, those are some very key things that we look for, and making sure that we can create this culture of family. And I know some people use it as a buzzword, but for me, it really is something that we take seriously, and we take our time so that it's authentic, because
Mhm.
we feel like if we have a family atmosphere, as you know, in a healthy family anyway, there's love, respect, support. And when you have these things, you can be your authentic self. And when you can be your authentic self, you're going to excel.
Mhm.
So we're here to
Mhm.
support one another. We're here to push one another, because guess what? Also in a family, we hold each other accountable, right? We
Yeah.
tell each other the truth. We expect a lot from one another. And for
Yeah.
the ladies who come to my program, unfortunately, they hear me say a lot, the killer of great is good, because so many people are okay with just being good. And I'll tell you what,
Mhm.
good is better than average. But I do believe that we are recruiting athletes who want to be great, and it's our responsibility as coaches to bring that greatness out in them and to hold them accountable and really push them to be the athletes we know they can be. So they're going to be putting in the work, but guess what? So are we. And we expect them to hold us as a coaching staff accountable as well. So again, comes from the top down. We want to be good people as well. We want to really coach in action, not always just word, and really, be those people as well.
Yeah, that's brilliant. It sounds like you've got some really clear standards that your students have to meet to be able to be part of all of this, which is incredible. Because again, it's really important, not just in university in the sport. It's life in general, isn't it? It's all those values that you carry with you after university, in your maybe in your love life, with your friendship. So it's all very, very important, and I love the expectations that you set and the standards that you have. Within the university environment. That's fantastic. I don't think that's something that we've had in the Netherlands, Ambra. I don't think we had that a community environment. Everyone just went to university just individually. There was nothing like a community environment, which we can learn a lot from. I think
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
I
Yeah.
think I've found really throughout coaching that if the students feel like they are involved in something, they really feel like they are a part of it and have a
Mhm.
say and a voice, they tend to, really want to stay and put their 100% into it. And so I think that's where that family, you're a part of a family, your voice is heard, you're respected, your opinion matters, these kinds of things. And of course, as a head coach, it is very important for you to make the final call, and you're going to have to make tough decisions and things like that. But I our student athletes to know that they will always be heard. We may not do exactly what they have suggested or whatever it may be, but they will be respected, they will be heard, and will be taken into consideration, which I think is a good practice.
Absolutely. What? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. I mean,
I
all
was
right.
just I was just going to say the only thing that you said, which also things that really resonates and is so important, is what you said. You do it for you, so you need that autonomy and that independence to be able to excel, to be able to be part of this whole thing. So it's yes, you guys support, but it has to come from within. It's intrinsic motivation, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
And
is
you
so
guys know, you're top athletes. It's not easy to do this grind day in, day out for years. Oh man. And if you're doing it for someone else, that's going to die quick. So you
Mhm.
have to have that uniqueness inside of you to continue with that little voice that says, keep going harder, farther, faster, continue, consistency, get you up in the morning. I mean, we've all been there. It's tough, but there is some different gear within collegiate student athletes who really can just, turn it on and make it happen.
Yeah, and if you're externally motivated, you will burn out super quick.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's not something that you want. And I really love the fact that you are creating role models. And that's something we talked about before in our podcast. Like when we started, we were our own role models. We didn't really have people to look up to. Like we were just paving our own way, doing the things that we thought were right. But now you are actually creating these role models for the next generation. And it's so important because we miss that growing up and playing the sports that we love. So yeah, really, really amazing what you do. And it's very different from, I think, a lot of other universities.
Yeah, I
Well, I
agree.
appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about visibility then. So, how important is representation in coaching and leadership, especially for young girls in flag football?
I think it's very important, just like in life, when you see someone else doing something you didn't even know was a possibility, it opens so many more doors. And
Mhm.
so the earlier we can start putting, female voices in places where decisions are being made, the better off I think we all will be, not just in sport, but in life in general. And we need those different opinions. And we really need women leading women because we've been through it. We understand the ins and outs of it. And I think that's important. Now, please don't get me wrong. I've had some fabulous male coaches,
Mhm.
fabulous. And we have a lot of male coaches coming over from tackle who are really taking the time to understand the differences, because there are differences in flag football, and they're doing great. And I champion them big time. But like you said, just like even just from an optics or a visual standpoint, having females in leadership roles just reminds our young athletes, female athletes, that this can be them one day. Even your
Mhm.
podcast, this can be them one day leading a podcast. Why not? Right. And so it's very important. And actually, my staff, we are all female, from our strength and conditioning coach to our associate head coach, to our nutritionist. And I think we might even end up getting a female sports psychologist. And it kind of just happened that way. We'll be more than happy to have a male on staff once we get there. It's not a problem. But I'm just saying, once again, there are plenty of female people out there who do have the degrees and the experience and know-how to be in these positions. So why not give them an opportunity to do so, especially in a woman's sport? Let's
Mhm.
lead them. Let's do it. So it's just opening the door and letting the females come in who are educated and ready to go. And we're seeing this even more in the NFL. We're hearing of more coaches coming through, even the NBA. So I think that it's being recognized that there are women of talent within, all areas, not just athletics, but all areas. Let's give them a chance.
Yeah. Well, just FYI, we're psychologists, so if you need anyone in the future,
That is awesome. Yes, absolutely. I love that. Yeah. Such an important piece, this mental health piece that has really boomed. And the thing is, I'm sure, as you know, it's always been there. It's always been important.
Yeah.
It's just, I think before now, it's been a little more taboo. And I'm so
yeah,
glad that this new era of student athletes and students in general who are coming in are asking about that.
Yeah.
even during the recruitment process, and are very forthcoming about maybe some struggles they had in high school. Is there support for them moving forward in college? It's amazing. I've been very impressed because I came up in an era that was suck it up, deal
Yeah.
with it, and we just didn't know better,
Yeah.
and now it's actually, no, don't suck it up. Tell us what's happening so we can address it and move through.
Yes.
We're not
Yeah.
hiding it anymore.
No.
So,
Right.
It
And it
massively
really
impacts.
dictates your, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it really dictates your performance. Like we
Exactly.
did 2 podcasts on mental performance,
yes.
and I believe that at least 70% of your performance is mental. Like you can be 100% physically ready for a game, for a tournament, but if you're mentally insecure, um, you don't trust your abilities, whatever it is, you will not perform. So all that physical work is going to waste. Like you have to work on your mental muscle as well. And I feel like it's finally something that people are looking into and are considering something important. While in the past, that never really was a thing, like people wouldn't really take that into consideration.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. I might steal that. Mental muscle. That's huge. The
You have to
mental
train
muscle.
your
That's
mental
right.
muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And that's a great way to frame it too. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so we've got our last question before our rapid fire round. We have to know, and obviously you already gave us a bit of an insight before we started recording the podcast. Is your twin into flag football too, or are you the fourth one?
I love that you asked this. I do have an identical twin sister. Her name's Sherelle. She goes by Shelly. And she's actually very athletic in her own right. And she did start playing flag football. I was actually the quarterback. She was the center. So she snapped the ball. We had a really great connection there because she knew exactly how I wanted the ball placed. We would practice for hours together. But then eventually she became into this just social butterfly and was just so happy doing other parts of high school and college. She was the one who was out in the student body and planning the events and having so much fun doing those things. So she found another outlet. And where she still stays athletic is individual sports. She loves snowboarding. She loves wake surfing, things that, she just thrives on. So it's kind of interesting that I was really into team sports. She was more into individual sports, but she's one of our biggest cheerleaders and still so excited, that I'm coaching and always comes to games and supports. Half of the time the athletes are like, coach, and she turns around like, oh, sorry, twin, wrong coach. It's a lot of fun. So yeah.
Oh no, it sounds like she's still involved in her own way. She's, that support, which is great. Amazing. Okay, Bree. So time for the talking flag rapid fire round. Okay, so we're going to give you 10
sounds
questions.
fun.
Yes, sorry, we didn't actually mention this at the start, but it's 10
That's okay.
questions. No thinking, just go with your gut. Okay, so the first thing that comes up in your mind, it's nothing crazy, but yeah, there we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Great.
All right, let's go. The first one. Toss or receive? So starting a game on offense or defense?
Yeah.
Pass. Yes. Your dream flag football destination as coach, player, or official?
Hawaii.
Ooh. Okay. If you ever had any injury, worst flag football injury you've ever had?
Oh man. Let's see. Flag football, surprisingly, I was pretty protected as quarterback. I didn't have too many injuries, but I can tell you in softball, my patella dislocated, was out of the socket for a few hours till they could finally get me to the hospital and pop it back in. That was not fun. So that would have probably been my worst injury, but I was able to rehab and actually come back in time for playoffs and still got to play my senior year. But yeah, I'm sure all of us have fun injury stories to share.
Oh gosh.
Wow, well done that rehab. Okay. Blitz or coverage?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I want to see all the skins. What are we talking about? Who are we against? Who are we playing? But I like to keep it, we love putting pressure, so I'm going to say blitz.
Awesome. Okay, flag football player you would pick first in an all-star draft.
Ooh.
Anyone.
Well, we have a lot of collegiate athletes who are coming in that I would love to see on the all-star roster, but I won't name drop anyone because then I'd have to name drop the whole team.
Right. Okay,
there would be quite a few.
That's
But there are some really up and coming young, the 17 under, and I've been
Mhm.
talking to a few of those student athletes. I talked to a few from the senior team that they have right now. They did a wonderful panel. They're all so very just interested in growing the game as well. And so it's interesting because when you talk to them, you get to know them almost more as people. And the flag football kind of even just goes to the side because they're just such good people trying to push the game forward. So I don't know if I have a specific name on that. I'll have to get back to you.
fine.
Okay, that's fair. Not a problem.
What's your biggest coaching pet peeve?
Coaching pet peeve. Okay, lack of effort, I guess for me, that is one thing that we just is non-negotiable. Even
Mhm.
if you're not feeling well and you only have 80%, we want 100% of that 80. So effort is it's just not a non-negotiable. So if you're not going to even be able to put effort in, just don't even come.
Agree.
Nice. Love that. Okay, one thing you have to do before every game, like superstition or routine, as a coach, player, or official, you choose.
Yep, it started as a player. For me, it's the way I get dressed. It's always left first and then right. I don't know why, but left sock, right sock. And I used to always have a lucky wristband, like back in the day, probably sweatband. It tells when I played back in the day. So I always had one on my left arm that was just right. Things like that. It's so funny what you get into these little rhythms, and you feel like if you don't do it, I don't know, it's just there in the back of your mind.
Yep.
For me, it's like a specific breakfast I need to have
Oh,
before a game. Like, I can't
yep.
deviate from it. Absolutely
Oh,
throws me off. Um,
so
what
interesting.
what's more stressful, reffing a close game or coaching a close game?
Honestly, I'd say reffing.
Mm,
Coaching, I don't want to sound cocky, but I'm pretty confident in most things. And I think we pretty much have a good idea, especially if we're prepared, right? And so we usually don't get into sticky situations. But officiating, you just never know what's going to happen. And you're monitoring two teams, two
yeah.
different coaches, two different styles. I mean, you got so much going on. It's interesting.
Yeah, you make a good point there.
Okay, one word to describe your coaching style.
Ooh, that's a good one. One word. I gotta say tough.
Okay.
It's hard. I wanna put more than that because I'm very tough. I really hold the girls accountable, but I do it with respect and love. So I know that's more than need be, but maybe accountability is the one word. But
Yeah.
I think tough is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Fab. Last question then. What's something people would be surprised to learn about you?
I love musicals, all of them. I love going to musicals. I love music in general. I used to be in band. I was in choir. I mean, all kinds of music. So I wasn't just an athlete. I played bassoon. I played alto sax. I mean, I love music. You will see me at any kind of like Broadway show or here in LA. I love it.
Brilliant. That's great.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay, well, Bree, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your energy with us. Yeah, your passion for the game is really next level.
Yeah, I agree. And we're so excited what you're building at La Sierra and everything you represent in the sport. We'll definitely be cheering for your team.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you both for everything you're doing and helping grow the game. We will continue to watch you. I'm telling my team all about you. So you're going to get some more followers here pretty soon. So again,
Yay.
congratulations on everything you're doing as well. And thank you so much for the invitation. This has been wonderful getting to know both of you as well.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much. And obviously, to our listeners, don't forget to follow Talking Flag wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, leave a review, share this episode with someone who loves flag football just as much as we all do.
We'll catch you next time. And until then, keep those flags tight and the vibes high.
Thank you, Bree.
Thank you, Brie. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.